Well, hello, welcome back to Loose Change with me, Matthew Mills. Oh, I was uncertain there, wasn't I? No, I am Matthew Mills, a 25-year veteran of financial services, financial advisor and investment manager, here to inform, educate and entertain you about your money. In a series of previous videos, we've talked about diversification of investment risk, and we specifically focused on stocks and shares. However, stocks and shares are not the only thing you can invest in. And the reason you wouldn't just invest in stocks and shares is there is a kind of risk associated with them that you cannot do anything about. It's called systematic risk. And you'll have seen this kind of thing manifest on the news when stock markets around the world take a tumble because they've caught cold or someone is upset about something that a world leader may have done. Now, there are lots of other assets that you can buy into, and an asset is simply something that grows in value over time. That might include property, commercial or residential. It might include commodities like gold or copper or something like that. It could be loans to companies or loans to government, and they all behave in totally different ways. So when we talk about diversification, when we're putting together an investment, one of the things we also think about is what's called asset diversification. And while we might concentrate on stocks and shares because they grow faster in the long term than any other investment, we might mix in other assets that when stock markets drop, they will tend to go up. And again, it tends to smooth the ride. So for example, when stock markets drop, when markets have a bit of a panic, when the participants get upset, then they'll be looking for a safe haven. And for example, they might invest in gold, and there's very limited supplies of gold that drives the price up, or they might invest in and move their money out into government loan stocks. Now, believe it or not, the British government, for example, is the only government in the world that has never defaulted on a debt. Therefore, when stock markets drop, demand for loan stock to the British government goes up and it drives the price up. And if you hold both, as one drops, one goes up, and it smooths the ride out for you. So, another thing we need to think about with diversification is not just spreading our risk across a number of different stocks, but also spreading across a range of different assets. And then later on is spreading our risk across a range of different tax wrappers called tax diversification. So there's several steps we need to look at when we put our investment strategy together. Loads of other videos covering this. We'll make some notes about this in the footer. We'll see you next time.